Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Leslie, California-based realtor and landlord coach, and I help homeowners who want to rent out their current properties, house hack into their next property, and California landlords who want to offload a rental property because it's become more stress than it's worth. If that's you, you're in the right place. And make sure that you check out all of my landlord and house hacking resources at the link in my profile. Now, I have been in the real estate and property management space for well over 10 years now. I am active in the trenches, leasing rentals, screening tenants, handling showings, negotiating deals, and having real conversations with landlords, tenants, and homeowners every single day. So what I'm sharing today is exactly how we do this in real life. Let's talk about why rental showings in California are such a big deal. California fair housing laws are some of the strictest in the country, and most landlords don't get into trouble because they're bad people. They get into trouble because they are inconsistent, leaning on emotion, or they're just straight winging it. Pre-screening is where I see people accidentally create problems that didn't exist. You may think you're being efficient, but one wrong question, one different response to one applicant, and suddenly you could have easily created a liability. Inconsistent messaging equals risk. So the goal is really simple. Everybody gets the same information, the same way, every time. Now here's the number one rule, and this is the foundation for everything. Every single inquiry gets the same exact message. There are little to no exceptions to this, but the only exception would be is if they ask you a direct question related to the property, like, is there a washer dryer hookup? And that wasn't clear in the listing. You can certainly answer that question and then jump to the same message that everybody's going to get. So here's the message you're going to get, and I'll put it up on the screen so you can look at the template. Hi, blank, you would put their name. Thank you for your interest in the property address. We have showings scheduled for Thursday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 10 a.m. Please confirm which day and time you can attend. Now that's it. Why does this work? There's equal access for everyone. There's no assumptions being made, no prejudging, and the expectations are clear. Here's the showing schedule. Confirm what day and time you can attend. You're not trying to decide who's qualified yet. You're simply offering access to view the property. This one message will save you time, cut down your amount of stress, and also reduce your risk as a landlord. Now, here's why we don't pre-screen before we do a showing. And this part is really important for California. A lot of landlords or even coaches will ask, don't you pre-screen before you do a showing? In California, that can actually set you up for a liability situation. A lot of pre-screening questions actually ask about income, household size, pets, employment, which each of those could easily cross into a fair housing issue if handled incorrectly or inconsistently. Now, to get back to our showing messaging, this also applies here. If you do pre-screening, make sure that you ask the same exact questions to every single prospect. Our philosophy, though, is let the property sell it first. People view the property. If they love it, then they will apply, and that's where your screening takes place. We always have applications after the tour, not before. This keeps the process clean and consistent. Now, when it comes to the actual showings of the property, we only do group showings. We treat every showing as if it were a group showing, whether one person shows up or 20 people show up. Group showings are gold for you as a landlord because it not only maximizes your time with a set schedule, it reduces your no-show rate, and you create a natural sense of urgency for the prospects. It also changes the energy of the showing. When other people see others interested, they tend to take the process more seriously because there are other people there interested. Now, in our experience, the best showing time blocks are during the lunch hour on the weekdays, weekday evenings, and also weekend morning. Now, you as a landlord, you're going to pick a time block and make it consistent every single week that fits your schedule, not the prospect's schedule. And a pro tip on this is when you're sending these same messages to every single prospect with your showing schedule, you'll often find that some people will try to recreate that schedule for you. That is a little bit of a red flag because you are the one setting the schedule, and if they're trying to already dictate how you run your schedule, that is a big red flag. Now, our hidden pre-screening trick is actually the pre-confirmation, and here's the part where a lot of landlords actually miss this step. The day of the actual showing, you're going to send a very simple confirmation message, and I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. Hi, first name, just confirming you plan to attend the showing tonight at 6 p.m. p.m., please reply to confirm. That's it. And if they reply pretty quickly, that's a huge green flag. We like that. And if they don't, you do not chase them. Oftentimes, if they don't reply confirming, that means that they're going to likely no-show you, but this actually filters people out without asking any risky questions. The people who communicate quickly and confirm are usually your best applicants. So now, on showing day, this is how it's going to go. You will, 1, stay until the last person leaves, or number 2, maximum give it 15 minutes. And I'm saying literally the max. If no one shows up within that 15-minute window, you're gone. Too late, so sorry, book another time. The only caveat to that is make sure that you are checking your messages, because sometimes people will be running late. And that's why initially, if someone confirms their appointment with you, you give them a point of contact if they're late or they're lost. That way there's no miscommunication there. The good applicants will actually message you like, hey, I'm stuck in traffic on this freeway. I'm gonna be about 10 minutes late. Sure, no problem. That's a big green flag. They're communicating actively with you and things do come up. But for the other ones, the no call, no show, no text, anything like that, and they don't show up on time, then they are done. Now, if it doesn't rent right away, do not panic. There is a revival technique that I will give you as well. So let's say it's a couple weeks and the property hasn't rented, and that's actually really common. So at the time that I'm filming this video right now, it is taking a little bit longer. The market is a bit slower. Now, this obviously depends on where your property is located, but for us, it's a little slower right now. So what you're going to do, you want to revive your old leads. Now remember, we're using standard messaging here. It's the same message every single time, and we've got our schedule already set up for the week. So what you're going to do is go back to your old leads. Maybe they're in Zillow, they're in wherever you're housing all of your leads and all your communication. You're going to go back in and you're going to send them an updated message. And I'll give you a template for this on the screen so you have it. So you would send this message out, hey, first name, try to address them by name. When people hear their name, they're more likely to respond. Hey, first name, in case you missed our last showings, here are the upcoming showing times this week for property address XYZ. If you are still interested, please confirm which day and time you can attend. Copy paste, same message, same time block. Now, the real secret to making all of this work is how do you stay organized? Organization is actually where most landlords fail. It's not the tenants, it's not the pricing, it's not the market, it's organization. So what you're going to do to stay organized when you're handling these showings, because if you have a hot property and you have a lot of leads and a lot of showings, you're going to need to manage this some way, some form. So we're going to save these auto replies, the confirmation message, and have our showing schedule all in one place where we can access it from anywhere. Now, my personal favorite is my notes app on my phone. I've got a running note for that property that we are leasing at that specific time. In that note, it's got our showing schedule, the names of who's confirmed on what days and times, and it's got all of our messaging so we can quickly copy and paste and send that out. You can also use a Google Doc on your phone or whatever notes tool you have that you can access on the fly. Another pro tip, inside that note, you want to make sure that you have other replies for like your application criteria, have a copy of your rental flyer or the link or QR code that you can send out for them to actually apply, and make it as easy as possible for them to have all of the information up front and accessible to everybody equally. When you're organized as a landlord, you're going to cut down your risk of running into a potential hot water with fair housing. Your leasing process will then become more predictable, and you're going to cut down your stress because you're not going to be running all over town trying to show this property to random one-off people at all different times of the day and the weekend. A lot of the landlord chaos just goes away if you have a simple system. So your big takeaways as a landlord in California: equal messaging protects you, group showings save you time, the confirmation messages are your pre-screening, applications come in after the prospect's tour, and your systems cut down the chaos. Now, if you're planning to rent out your current home, house hack into your next one, or you just want to offload a rental property that is not performing for you, make sure that you check out all of the free resources at the links in my profile. And if you want more detailed help as a landlord, we also have our program, Lease Like a Boss, which teaches you how to lease out your rental property from start to finish by yourself. And as always, happy landlording!